Hello, I'm Melissa. Welcome back to my channel Journey Through Europe, where I share my European travel tips and tricks and my European travel vlogs. And I'm currently in Florence. I thought I'd do a video sharing as much of the food that I eat as possible. I also want to try as many sandwiches because Florence is known for the schiacciate, which are a specific type of bread which is then made into sandwiches, which is super popular here. So the first place I went to, which was near Palazzo Vecchio, is sorry, just had someone go past me with Vespa. I went to a place called Vinaino Fiorenza, which is near Palazzo Vecchio. I've been there before when I came to Florence about 5-6 years ago, and I got a porchetta boccaccio schiacciata, and it is beautiful. It's like fresh porchetta, stracchino, cheese, and then grilled peppers, and it is great. So I'll keep you updated on my week. I'm here for a week, so this is the first thing I've eaten. I got here this morning, went on a walking tour, and now I'm getting some lunch. So it's day 2 in Florence, and today I'm going to show you my hotel breakfast and anything else I get up to and I eat. I'm staying at the Hotel Cellai here in Florence. It's a boutique hotel. It's very close to the centre. It's probably about 10-15 minute walk to the Duomo and to the central market and places like that. So it's really well located, and the breakfast is meant to be really nice. So I'll bring you along with me to show you what I eat and what I get and what the hotel breakfast looks like. So here was the hotel breakfast. It was mainly cakes, pastries, bread, yogurt with different preserves and jams as well. So a traditional Mediterranean Italian style breakfast with salami, cheeses, salads and different pastries to try. I went for some eggs and ham, a nice croissant and a banana, and then afterwards I had some fruit with yogurt and granola too. So I had breakfast at the hotel, which was very Italian. It was all laid out very nicely, but it was mostly just sort of like pastries and fresh meats and cheeses and a little bit of fruit. So yeah, very, very Italian style breakfast. And there is a coffee shop, brunch place called Shake Cafe, and they do really good iced coffees, and I've heard they do good chai lattes. I really like chai lattes, so I'm going to sort of pop there and see if there's anything I want from there. And if not, I'll just have a look, pop my head in and keep walking to then see where else I can get a drink. So I got a iced chai latte. Woo! It's pretty nice actually. It's fully plant-based as well. It tastes really good. I've never had an iced chai. I'm very happy with it. On this day I had lots of time to explore Florence and just walk in the streets and take in the beautiful architecture. So this was a magnificent view of the Duomo and that main square which has like the clock tower and the Duomo and the church. So I absolutely loved this area. As you can see, everyone's taking photos. Then I took a stroll across Ponte Vecchio, which has all of the jewellery shops. It wasn't too busy this morning when I was walking down. There was quite a few people, but it wasn't too busy. But I loved walking along here and crossing to the other side of Florence. That's me, walking along Ponte Vecchio. Then I travelled over to the Porcellino fountain, which is a very famous fountain here in Florence. As you can see, its nose is very gold because lots of people rub it for good luck. And next to the fountain is the Mercato del Porcellino, which was a market which was recommended by my tour guide when I first arrived here in Florence. Right next to the Porcellino fountain is a Trippaio del Porcellino, which is a great place to try a traditional lampredotto sandwich here in Florence. So I got in the queue for that and I tried my first lampredotto sandwich and it was amazing. So I couldn't film whilst I was there. It was super busy and super loud, but I just tried my first lampredotto sandwich. And lampredotto is a delicacy here in Florence, which it doesn't sound very appetizing. It's pig's stomach, which is in like stewed and usually had like in a sandwich. And it doesn't sound particularly appealing, but it's actually really, really nice. So I'd say definitely give it a go. If you're not vegetarian or vegan, of course, definitely try it if you are coming to Florence, because it was really, really nice. And next to the Mercato Nuovo, there is a Trippaio del Porcellino, because it's next to the Porcellino fountain, and it's only €5 and it's really, really good. There's lots of locals there. I was chatting to a local in the queue actually. There's lots of locals that go there, so it's a great place to go, and it's €5, so really good price. This was dinner later on this evening at Antica, Trattoria da Tito. This is antipasti starter, and then my delicious homemade pasta. It was a traditional Trattoria Tuscan style restaurant, really great atmosphere inside, and it was one of my favourite dinners I had here in Florence. I took the bus up to Piazzale Michaelangelo for this amazing view across Florence. You can see the Duomo over there. I would definitely recommend coming up here. You can either walk it or take the bus up, and it's great at sunset too. Oh, right, I'm back at the hotel. I'm having some lunch now, and it's so hot, and I've got something in half an hour, so I don't have a lot of time to have lunch. So I just went into Pam, which is like a supermarket, and I've got a Caesar salad, and I also got a tuna salad because I'm really hungry, and this is just like, it's not that much. So I just got a couple of these, so I'm gonna have these. And I also grabbed more water because I need it, and I've got these are tomato flavour crisps. So I'm gonna sit here and eat that and then rush back out. Bye. It's the afternoon now, and I'm off to Vivoli to get some of their gelato. They're known for their Affogato here in Florence, but it's a bit late for me to have an Affogato, so I might just get a gelato, and it looks like there's a queue. No, it's closed on Mondays. So I'm just gonna have to come back tomorrow. So that was a disappointment because Vivoli is closed on Mondays. I didn't check, and it's a Monday. So I'm off to a place called Festival del Gelato, which is meant to be good. It was recommended by my tour guide on my walking tour. So I'm off there now. Sorry for the noise, super busy down this road. So I was successful in my gelato hunt. I went to Festival del Gelato Festival, and I got a Snickers flavour one and also a mint chocolate chip, because mint chocolate chip is my favourite ice cream flavour and it tastes so good, so I'm very happy. I then stopped for another lampredotto sandwich. Sorry, I wasn't sure where this was. This was on a tiny square, and the pesto, the green sauce, was amazing. Then I found my first wine window at Cantina dei Pucci. If you don't know, in Florence, it's a tradition of bars and restaurants of having little windows which serve wine. So you ring that bell, and through that window you can get your wine. So I got a beautiful white wine, and this was at Cantina dei Pucci. It was so much fun. This was my hotel breakfast on Tuesday, some yogurt and omelette, some tea and some orange juice. And then I had a mid-morning gelato stop at La Gelatiera. So I went for Earl Grey and lemon. So I'm very excited to try this. So it's Tuesday in Florence. I just had a gelato. I got a Earl Grey tea gelato and a lemon sorbet. And the Earl Grey tea was amazing. I didn't think it was going to be that strong, but it was so strong. And Earl Grey is my favourite sort of tea, so it was great. And I stumbled across the Giunti. Well, I knew about it from TikTok, but I went to the Giunti Odeon because it's on the way to where I was going to go. And it was insane. It was amazing. It was just such a beautiful theatre. They have lots of different films. Today they were doing a homage to Tim Burton. So Edward Scissorhands was playing when I was there. And the library, and there's loads of people who just sat there. They've got their laptops out and they sit there eating their lunch, watching the film, working, chatting, studying. such a beautiful free place to go. If I was a student in Florence, I would definitely go there. So that was wonderful. And yeah, I'm now thinking I'm going to try and find a little bit more food. Might get a sketch after. There's another gelato place. I need to go to Vivoli because it was shut yesterday. And I also want to visit another wine window today as well. For lunch, I stopped at Pino Sandwiches, which is a very famous sandwich shop here in Florence. It's very popular with American college students studying abroad here in Florence, and it definitely didn't disappoint. This was so delicious. So I just had a, it was called a springtime sandwich at Pino Sandwiches. So it was mozzarella, parma ham, pesto, green pesto, and then I think the last thing was fresh tomatoes. It was incredible. It was the best sandwich I've had since I've been here. That's my second one. I've had a few lampredotto ones, but that's my second proper sandwich. It was so good. So definitely would recommend if you're coming to Florence. And then it's just around the corner from Vivoli, but the queue for Vivoli is so long, and I just don't think it's worth me getting into it because I'm going to be in that queue for about half an hour. So I'm going to have to come back either tomorrow or like Thursday or Friday. So I did try, second time I've tried to go, but the queue is just way too long. So I returned to Vivoli the next day, prepared to queue, and I got in the queue for my Affogato. This is one of the most popular gelato shops here in Florence. They do a very famous Affogato, which is beautiful. It was worth the wait. So I was in the queue for about 20-30 minutes. Luckily, it wasn't too hot this day, but then I got to go inside and decide on what I wanted. And of course, I had to get their famous Affogato, which they just layered the gelato so beautifully. It was so worth me waiting and queuing up. So I finally got to try the Affogato from Vivoli. It was €6. It was so good. I'm not a big coffee drinker. I don't really drink caffeine, but it was so great. Vanilla ice cream, freshly made vanilla gelato with the espresso. It was beautiful. So I sat on the steps and I ate it. And now I'm off to continue with my day and see what else I can find to eat. So today I visited another wine window here in Florence. You can see me grabbing our Lambrusco red wine that we chose. Michelle Altenberg is a great blogger who has mapped out all the wine windows here in Florence. This was the Babae wine window and it was so much fun to come and visit. Then we stopped for another gelato, had so much gelato on this trip, and then we had a really great aperitivo with some bruschetta next to the Palazzo Pitti. On my final day in Florence, I sat in the beautiful cafe La Menagere and had an iced chai latte with my laptop to catch up on some admin. I have to admit the iced chai wasn't quite as good as the one I had earlier on in the week at Shake Cafe, but the atmosphere inside the cafe really did make up for it. It was such a great place to sit with my laptop. It had great Wi-Fi, charging outlets as well, so I could sit for a few hours and catch up on all the admin I needed to get done. Last evening in Florence, I had bruschetta for starters. I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch the name of this restaurant that we went to, but it was near Hotel Cellai where we were staying. And then I had a spaghetti bolognese, which I absolutely smothered in Parmesan cheese because that is the best way to enjoy your pasta, with lots of cheese sprinkled on top. This was the view from Hotel Cellai. They had a rooftop terrace, which was great, and really great sunset here as well. And then my last gelato that I had in Florence was at Perché No, another gelateria, which was recommended by my tour guide on my first day in Florence. They had a really great selection of beautiful gelatos. And look at mine, look at how pretty it was. My final lunch was at I Fratellini. I had a beautiful sandwich and a glass of red wine, Chianti red wine. What a great way to finish my time in Florence. So that is everything I ate in Florence. Thank you for coming along with me and documenting what I've eaten whilst I've been here. It has been an amazing week. I've eaten so well. I've had so much good gelato, pasta, panini, schiacciate. It's been amazing. So definitely subscribe for more. I share my European travel tips and tricks. And thank you for coming along on this journey with you, and see you again for another video very soon.